Very good morning. Welcome back. Last class, we discussed about air conditioning, classification of air conditioning, components in the air conditioning system, and we discussed about what is unitary air conditioning system and central air conditioning system, and how it is differentiated from central air conditioning system from the unitary air conditioning system, right? So in this video, I will address working of various air conditioning systems such as summer air conditioning system, winter air conditioning system, year-round air conditioning system, and comparison between summer and winter air conditioning system. Right? Let us see. So summer air conditioning system. So this is a representation of line diagram of summer air conditioning system. Summer air conditioning system mainly used in summer season where outside environment is higher temperature and outside air contains more humidity. So people feel sweating problem at the same time some discomfort. If you provide cool air and dehumidified air, then people will feel comfort. So the cyclonic process used in summer air conditioning systems are sensible cooling and dehumidification process. Remember this point. The cyclonic process used in summer air conditioning systems are sensible cooling and dehumidification process. Let us see working principle of summer air conditioning system. This is outside air which is entering, and here we are having a damper system. So damper is a fine filter where it removes the suspended fine dust particles so that clean air is entering into the air conditioning unit, right? And this is called as ultra filter or micro filter where very tiny size particles are also removed so that air will be cleaned. So the summer air conditioning system mainly contains damper, filter, cooling coil, and this is called as perforated membrane acting as a dehumidifier, right? This element is acting as a dehumidifier. Then we are having a reheating coil, a fan, and this is called condition space. After circulation, some amount of air is removed to the outside through ventilation system. Then remaining will be again taken back for recirculation, right? So these are the main components of summer air conditioning. Any summer air conditioning system mainly contains damper, filter, cooling coil, dehumidifier, reheating coil, blower, and these are called duct system. So this is called supply duct and it is called as return duct. Now I will explain how the summer air conditioning system will work. So when air conditioning is working automatically, the fresh outside available at higher temperature, more humidity is entering into a air conditioning unit through damper. Damper is a filter which removes all fine size particles, right? So micro size particles will not be removed, but large size sediments, dust, soot particles will be removed initially while air is passing through the damper. Then it is mixed with the recirculated air, then it is passing through a filter where unwanted particles present in the air is removed so that the air will be cleaned. When air is clean, then this air is passing through a cooling coil. It is nothing but evaporative coil where refrigerant is flowing. Because of temperature difference between the air with respect to refrigerant, so refrigerant temperature may be minus 30, minus 40 degrees centigrade, where outside air is at 40 or 45 degrees centigrade. Since it is used in summer period, temperature of air during summer is very high. It may be 40, 45 degrees centigrade. So because of temperature difference, air gets cooled. So it is cooled with the help of cooling coil. Later it is passing through perforated membrane. Perforated membrane may be taken as annual air or a horse air, which is placed vertically in the flow of air. So when this cool air is passing over the perforated membrane, it is acting as a dehumidifier. So the moisture present in the air gets cooled the moisture present in the air gets condensed, and because of gravity it is collected at the base. So for that we are using a some base used to collect the condensate formed in the dehumidification process. So mostly we are using peripheral membrane like horsehair, human hair is used as a dehumidifier. If the temperature of air is if it is very low, it is not meeting the design conditions, then we need to use reheating coil. This is called as heating coil or reheating coil until the required design conditions as per the space requirement is achieved, right? So reheating, for example, condition space required 24 degrees centigrade. If the temperature is 20 degrees centigrade, after dehumidification then further 4 degrees centigrade will be heated, so that it is design conditions of air is achieved after heating coil. Once the design conditions of air is achieved, then by using fan, so this is called fan, so by using fan the air is circulated to the conditioned space through supply duct. So these there will be number of openings provided here, there will be number of openings provided here, there will be number of openings provided here. There will be number of openings provided in the conditioned space, so that through the openings circulated air is evenly distributed in the conditioned space, where it extracts heat from the occupants or from the space, so the space gets cooled. Later 40% of circulated air is removed to atmosphere, and 60%, in general 60% is recirculated air is taken from the conditioned space, and it is mixed with 40% of outside fresh air. So the cycle, the same process will be repeat again and again, so that we will get the required conditions in the summer air conditioning system. So the cyclonic process used in this summer air conditioning system is sensible cooling and dehumidification process. So it is mostly used in summer air conditioning system. So remember this point. The cyclomatic process used in the summer air conditioning systems are, since outside air is hotter, so we need to go for cooling, sensible cooling. Since outside air is humid, we need to dehumidify. For that we are using dehumidification, right? So just a minute. So this is the working I already given in detail point by point. So the working just now explained. So outside air is passing through damper where fine filters are removed, fine dust particles are removed. Then it is mixed with the recirculate passing through filter, where the micro size the remove dust other all particles are removed. Then air passes through cooling coil where temperature reduces below the tribal temperature of air. Then this cool air passing through peripheral membrane where it loses moisture, so that moisture will convert into liquid that is collected in the sump. If the temperature of air is lower than the design temperature, then with the help of reheating coil, we need to heat the air so that it requires a design temperature. Once the conditioned temperature, once the conditioned air is as per the design conditions, then by using fan, it is circulated in the air conditioned space. So part of air is removed to the atmosphere through exhaust fan or ventilators. The remaining will be recirculated for the next cycle. So outside is always taken and mixed with recirculated air, and it is further conditioned for producing air conditioning conditioned air to the conditioned space. Now another system mostly used, that is called as winter air conditioning system. It is called as winter air conditioning system. So look at the diagram. It is more or less similar to the earlier one, that is summer air conditioning system, but only the difference is instead of heating coil, instead of cooling coil, we are having preheater or heating coil, and we are having humidifier. Since winter season mostly contains very lower temperature, but we required higher temperature. So generally we require a temperature of 24 to 26 degrees centigrade and humidity of 60 to 50 to 60%. But in winter season, humidity is less than 40% also, and temperature is sometimes it may be less than 20 degrees centigrade, 10 degrees centigrade. So it will vary from location to location, place to place. So for that, if you want to provide comfort conditions for the people, at least temperature required is 22 to 26 degrees centigrade, and humidity is 50 to 60%. So the cyclomatic process used in winter air conditioning systems are sensible heating and humidification. Sensible heating and humidification process are used. So coming to the working, so where outside air is entering through this passage through damper. I already explained what is the function of damper. Damper is a device used to remove the dust, dirt, and soot particles so that the clean air is passing to the filter. So the function of filter is remove the very tiny size dust particles along with the harmful bacteria so that air gets clean. Then this clean air is passing through the preheater. So whenever it is passing through the preheater, because temperature of air is higher than the air temperature, then air gets heated. Air gets heated. So temperature of air will be increased with the help of preheater. Then the preheated air is passing through this duct passes. Meanwhile, we provide humidifier. Humidifier is nothing but a injector, right? So when it is injecting the water in the form of fine droplets in the path passes automatically air gets humidified. So initially the air is heated in the preheater so the drivable temperature increases. In the flow path of air, we spray these water particles or moisture in the form of tiny particles so that air gets humidified. So air is heated, air is humidified. If the temperature of air is less than the conditioned space temperature, automatically we need to use reheating coil. So it is again heating the air so that the temperature of air and humidity of air is meeting the desired space. Once the conditions are achieved, then by using fan, the conditioned air is supplied evenly in the air conditioning space. So it is supplied here evenly in the entire space so that it provides comfort for the people. After circulation, again 40% of air is removed to atmosphere. Then 60% recirculated air or used air from the conditioned space is taken back and it is mixed with the outside air. So both are mixed here. Then it is again filtering process, preheating process, humidification process, again reheating process. Then the conditioned air is circulated evenly in the space with the help of fan. So that is the working principle of winter air conditioning system. So since winter is having lower temperature, lower humidity, we need to heat the air. Further, we are using preheater, and the process is called sensible heating process. And since humidity content is less, we need to humid the air. Further, we are using humidifier. So sensible heating and humidification is the cyclonic process used in winter air conditioning system. So regarding the working of winter air conditioning system, just now explained. So winter air conditioning system, air is heated as well as humidified. For heating application, we need to use preheater, and for humidification, we are using humidifier. So schematic diagram already shown in the previous slide. So when outside air is passes through damper and mixes with recirculated air, then the mixed air is passes through filter where it removes dirt and other impurities. Then the cleaned air passes through preheating coil so that the temperature of air is increases. Then later it is passed through humidifier where it is humidified. Whether the temperature of processed air is not meeting the design conditions in the air conditioned space, then we need to use the preheater or reheating coil to increase the temperature. Then once the conditioned air is supplied to the conditioned space by a fan, then it is evenly circulated in the space. And by using exhaust fan or ventilator, part of air is removed and the remaining will be recirculated and mixed with the fresh air, right? So this is about working of winter air conditioning system, and this is very very important. So differentiate between summer air conditioning system from winter air conditioning system. So if it is a summer air conditioning system, so if it is a summer air conditioning system, so summer air conditioning system air is cooled and dehumidified. That is first difference. Therefore, the principal psychrometric process used is sensible cooling and dehumidification. Whereas in case of winter air conditioning system, air is heated and humidified. So heating and humidification, these are the psychrometric process used in case of winter air conditioning system. So important component of summer air conditioning system is the filter, eliminator, cooling coil, reheating coil, humidifier. Whereas in case of winter air conditioning system, the important components are preheater, humidifier, reheating coil, right? So generally in summer air conditioning system, the minimum temperature range required is 24 degrees centigrade drivable temperature, 60% RH. Whereas in case of winter air conditioning system, the comfort conditions are 20 to 24 degrees centigrade and 60% RH for comfort for the space. So in case of summer air conditioning system, in this the problem encountered to reduce the sensible heat, water vapor content of air by cooling and humidification. Here the problem is the very low temperature. We need to provide heat for that sensible heat and water vapor content by air by using heating and humidification. So outside air is flow through the damper mixes with the recirculated air. Here also same outside is flow through the damp and mixes with the recirculated air. So in this system, cooled air is passes through peripheral membrane, loses its moisture. So it is acting as a dehumidifier membrane. Whereas after preheating of coil, it is passes through humidifier, where water is added to the air so that it is humidified. Reheating coil is used to bring the air to the desired drivable temperature. Here also reheating coil is used to bring air to desired temperature. So generally, it is used in summer air conditioning system, summer season where temperature is minimum 40-45 degrees centigrade and relative humidity is generally higher. This type of air conditioning system is are used it may be 60 or 70%. Whereas there is a mistake here. It is 70 or 80%. In case of summer period, relative humidity is very high. It is around 70 to 80%. Where winter air conditioning is generally used when the temperature is 10 degrees centigrade or 15 degrees centigrade, where relative humidity is less than 30%, maybe 20 or percent. Here 80%, 20% will be interchange. These are the major differences we need to highlight when compare summer from winter air conditioning system. Next. Then the combination of summer winter is called as year round air conditioning system. So it accumulates both say, preheater, cooling coil, humidifier, dehumidifier, along with the other additional components. So any air conditioner that is used throughout the year, it is referred as year-round air conditioning system. I'm repeating again. So the air conditioning system which can be used throughout the year, it is referred as year-round air conditioning system. So the components present in year-round air conditioning systems are one is damper, then we are having a filter, then cooling coil, followed by heating coil here, then humidifier, then perforated membrane. You need to represent here dotted line perforated membrane, and preheating coil or heating coil, fan, condition space. So more or less same, but whatever the components that are present in summer winter air conditioning system, it accumulates all the components. So cooling coil, heating coil, then we are having humidifier, dehumidifier. So based on the outside conditions, it will provide conditioned air in terms of heated air or cooled air, humidified air or dehumidified air based on the requirements. So in this also, the fresh outside air is passing through damper where it removes that dust particles. Then it is mixed with the recirculated air. It is mixes with the recirculated air here. mixing with the recirculatory air taking place. Then the mixture of fresh air and recirculatory is passing through filter, where majority of fine particles of dust, soot are removed. So that clean air is passing through cooling coil if it is applicable for summer season. Then it is cooled. Later it is passing the dehumidifier. I will not shown here, but there will be dehumidifier. It is used to remove the moisture content. When cool air is passing through perforated membrane, the moisture is immediately condensate that is collected at the base. It is referred as sump. If it is a winter season, automatically instead of cooling coil, we will provide heating coil so that a clean air is heated, so its temperature increases. Then we are using humidifier. It will spray the water vapor content in the path of hot air so that air gets humid. So the increased temperature and more humid air is passing through heating coil until it reaches the desired temperature. Then the conditioned air is circulated evenly in the conditioned space by using fan. After circulation, part of air is removed to atmosphere by using exhaust fan, whereas the remaining will be taken back for recirculation. So this is about year-round air conditioning system. So year-round air conditioning system just now I explained, and this is some description you can note down. So year-round air conditioning system have equipment both from summer and winter. The outside is processed through damper, mixing with the circulated air. The mixed air passes through filter where unwanted dirt, dust, and other impurities are removed. Then this clean air is passing through cooling coil, where the system is operated as a summer air conditioning system to cool the air to the desired value. And dehumidification is obtained by operating the cooling coil in a temperature lower than the dew point temperature. So when the cooling coil temperature is very low, automatically air gets cooled and reaches dew point temperature, so the water vapor starts condensing. So no separate dehumidifier is not required when cooling coil is operated at lower temperature than the dew point temperature or operated dew point. So in winter, cooling coil is made inoperative. So if it is a winter, then cooling coil is not required. Then we need to activate the heating coil. So when heating coil is activated, then air gets heated. Then we are using a spray type humidifier, which will spray the water particles along the heated air so that the air gets humid. Then this heated humid air is circulated to the condensed space by using fan. Right. Thank you.